Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic Arena, and today we are going to be taking a look at Alchemy. It's also the time for Wilds of Eldraine to come, but we're not going to be doing much of Wilds of Eldraine right now. We're actually going to be doing a bunch of older cards, and that's primarily for two reasons. Although one, we don't exactly have any Alchemy cards from Wilds of Eldraine quite yet. There are a few interesting ones, but the most notable thing is that Alchemy has rotated. So unlike Standard, which hasn't rotated yet, Alchemy has had its rotation. So a lot of the very good cards in Black are gone. A lot of the very good cards in Red are gone, and we get to try out a bunch of other stuff. So what we are trying right now, a slightly different take on Poison. So it's mostly centered around this guy here, Phyresis Roach. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, insects you control and insect cards in your graveyard, hand, and library gain an additional toxic 1, which is quite decent considering that Haywire Mite is also an insect, Bilious Skull Dweller is also an insect, Pestilent Siphoner is also an insect. Now that said, we still have to play the normal game, so we have 4 copies of Cut Down, 4 copies of Anoint with Affliction, and 4 copies of Vraska's Fall to clear the way. We have a single viral spawning, unfortunately makes a Pyrexian Beast. Likewise, we have some copies of Bloated Contaminator and a few Mere Converts just to help fix stuff a bit. We do have Nantuko Slicer that's also an insect. This one pretty interesting with Kicker. Even without the Kicker, getting one of our cards back is not so bad as well. Otherwise, I'm pretty much running some copies of Mirrex and some copies of Seed Core to also, which the Seed Core are actually quite good. We have quite a few 1/1s, so there is that. So we actually got some early testing and it was pretty good. We're gonna see if it still holds up after the few hours that have passed since. So we're going to see how things shape up. We're not doing the venerable route freeze combo. That's really more of a green blue thing. I did consider green blue also. That one's also interesting. So this one's actually kind of sketchy but fine. Turn 1 Roach, turn 2 Convert. We just need another mana from there. Another mana mostly just because we're not relying on Convert to stay alive forever. Okay, Mirrex is fine. Now we're gonna see, maybe our opponent has some sort of burn. No. Opponent's gonna hit us. We're gonna take. Now we're gonna see if now this might be a problem for us. So we're gonna play the Mere Convert, mostly to just opponent's pretty much playing goblins. Vraska's Fall not gonna exactly do quite well. Also, let's see. When it dies, deals damage to any target. So this is a problem. We can't exactly Vraska's Fall. We are gonna have to take. We'll probably just play the Bloated. Okay, there's our Haywire Mite. Now has Toxic 1. Yeah, this one maybe not so great. We ideally want to trade this first. Yeah, we might be in real trouble. We are missing the spot removal that is going to be really helpful here. And hold on a sec. Hello. Now this is an instant, but it kind of might backfire on us. We might still have to play it though. Problem is, we probably might have to concede this one. This one's a highly tuned deck. We might not be able to get past this one. So yeah, hyper aggro's gonna do us in. Also, a lot of these goblins being really cheap hurts us a bit too. We could just go Vraska's. We could just they had the second suite, so I'm probably just gonna cast this, but it's probably game over already at this point. Okay, so that's so that one did not go quite as well. Looks we ran up against a very aggro start and did not have any. No, we had Vraska's Fall. Unfortunately, our opponent had a wide board by that time. It was Vraska's Fall is really good against mid range, but kind of horrible against that kind of deck. Not able to snipe the Goblin Lords is an issue. This one's probably better. We should be able to snipe some cards here. Also, Haywire Might not so bad considering we can just play that off turn 1. We did miss out on the Phyresis Roach, but this should still be enough to be annoying. Yeah, we're gonna lead with this one. See, most likely our opponent takes it. There is no reason for them to get rid of. There's no reason for them to get rid of this. Opponent's not exactly showing. Okay, so it's life gain. And if there's one thing we learned about life gain, you want to take it out right away. So we actually want to play the Seed Core first. And the reason for that is because we have another cut down. We want to be able to cast it. Opponent has a Copper Code Vanguard. Probably drops. Snipe that first. And opponent concedes right away. We had enough removal. That is kind of what we're looking for. Have enough removal, then even if our creatures are kind of dorky, we should be able to get through. So let's claim our win for right now. Stone Splitter Bolt. This is actually this is actually not so bad considering we're going to be seeing that quite a lot in limited. I would rather have the other one that that has a reduced cost based on the number of attacking creatures. That's probably a much better one, considering both of them only hit creatures anyway. Okay, so this one's a bit sketchy. We definitely want to do turn 1 cut. Get ready for cut down first. We can just go Bloated Contaminator or Vraska's Fall later. An early creature would pretty much change this. Is this the same opponent as last time? Okay, maybe not. I'm gonna see. We'll check the deck out. It might be the same opponent, might be not. Opponent clearly deciding if they want to cast something. So probably just drop the Pestilence Siphon. Their opponent probably has burn. We'll let it hit. But better to make them use their if they're playing a burn deck, we want them to use up their burn on our creatures, not necessarily on us. Okay, budget shop, which means okay, one is. Now let's see if they do. Now a lot of the 2 mana deal damage spells are not here. Yay. Now probably want to hold off on Nantuko Slicer because there's no reason for me to just get this. Also, conjure a duplicate of target card in the opponent's graveyard. There's no limitation on what card it is. like if also possible if our opponent decides to go. Ooh, I feel bad. This is our opponent is playing. Our opponent is just playing very. Our opponent is just playing a starter deck, and it's the red one too, so it's not the best. And we're now gonna just and now we're gonna just kind of scare. We're gonna end up scaring them off with just a bunch of 4/4s. We didn't even get to play our insects. But sometimes you don't have to. Opponent just place another Battle Driver. Yeah. Yeah, opponent concedes right there. Yeah, that is a real feel bad moment. But it does highlight how imbalanced the starter decks are. There's a reason why almost everyone goes for the white one, because that one is the easiest to upgrade. That's the easiest to build up with commons and uncommons. You have a pretty decent synergy. Red, they don't exactly give you the right cards out of the bat. I would say that black is kind of okay. The green one is okay if you can get to the mid game. Blue is a question mark. So, okay, turn 1 Roach, turn 2 Skull Dweller Might. Or I can play Convert to set up Vraska's Fall if I don't draw mana. So there is that option too. But yeah, we're gonna go Papa Roach again. Opponent this. Okay, they're keeping. Let's see if they have the red. No, you're playing green. Okay. So we actually have interest. Now it would be sad if our opponent does have something that can block on the ground, but we'll see what comes up. Like it'll be interesting if I can get the hit and I land both Skull Dweller and Haywire Might. I could alternately just play Siphoner, but I probably want to just play these two. Opponent is tanking a bit. Okay, double green. They probably have a creature. Seed of Hope. No, they don't have it quite yet. And permanent card, so yikes, this is not looking good for our opponent. So I actually want to play the Jungle Hollow because I think our opponent's about to play a big tree. It's about to play a big tree drop. So I want to have Vraska's Fall on standby. So yeah, all of a sudden this 1/1 is now threatening quite a lot of toxic. And the Haywire might also get some toxic as well. Oh, it's green-white into an overgrown pest. And just like that, our opponent is at half toxic. Now we can kind of start threatening, and now these Pestilent Siphoners are really threatening right now. We can also just dump a Skull Dweller as well. Yeah, you definitely do not want a slow start. That red deck that we ran into in the first game for this video, that is probably one of the best examples of things to do. If you're not playing control. If you're playing control, you definitely want to have the ways to be able to answer an aggro start. And let's be fair, my start's not even that aggro. It's just kind of aggro-ish. Opponent goes Invasion of Moab. That does nothing. Oh no, I feel bad for our opponent. Sort of. And just like that, opponent gets poisoned. Yeah, Yeah, this is not. Yeah, even in Alchemy, do expect to have people with finely tuned decks, but also expect people to just be starting out. I'm really feeling bad, but then again, maybe not. I already ran into a very good deck a while ago. Let's play one more game. Yeah, really liking that. Really liking that setup quite a bit. Okay. We're all removal until and can't really do anything, but yeah, let's keep this. We'll find out what our opponent is playing from here, but at least we can stall them out quite a bit until we can actually land something. It does get awkward if we. Well, it depends. We do have one drop. We do have one drops that are insects that are in black. Okay, anoint with affliction. We will just play the jungle hollow though. Now, if our opponent is playing like okay, black white, not too shabby. We're gonna see what kind of creature our opponent plays. Opponent's actually not doing a whole lot of much. Well, neither are we. This is this is bait. Really curious to see what our opponent is up to. I haven't played a single creature yet. So if we can't cut down, we are holding up cut down, and we're also kind of holding up. Ah, okay. Control draw. Sure. No. At least it's not memory lapse, so it's okay. Now, if our opponent drops us Boromir, yeah, we're gonna just Vraskus Fall that one. And we'll play this one, hold up Anoint with Affliction. At, technically, we could have also just played Anoint with Affliction, but we do want to start the Corrupted train going, so Vraska's Fall's not so bad. Like for example, if our opponent plays that, we just play another Vraska's Fall and that's it. Yeah, Cutdown's not gonna do it. Now let's see if they. I'm also expecting like a bevy of Nazgul. Now if they play enough Nazgul, it's yeah. Nope, just claim the precious. Sure, that's not the worst. We can actually also this is stream. Yeah, we can also. Now we remember that Seed Core can pump, but we need one more poison counter. Mirrex can just make a token. Yeah, sure. Lose the Siphoner, that's fine. Okay, make a token. We're gonna start forcing out a lot of removal this way. Now we do have to also be conscious that we might need some Frodo backup, so Golem's Bite. Yeah, sure. Because I don't have the Corrupted quite yet. I'm gonna need to land one more Vraska's Fall. We do have our Anoints for our opponent's cheaper creatures. So there is that. Opponent is passing quite a bit, so probably stuck with a lot of removal. That is kind of what that's kind of what the black white tempt the ring thing does. I'm surprised they haven't played a single Nazgul yet. Also, these are mites, not insects, so yeah, kind of doesn't count. I'm actually gonna let that one go. So I'm actually not gonna play Skull Dweller if I don't have to. Ooh, we can also flash this back, but I'm also gonna pass on that for now. When it goes, wait, which king? We're gonna wait for them to go end of turn. They might have a reprieve for this. And the nice thing with going with this one first is it doesn't matter if they sacrifice a creature or not. They still get the poison counter. Now we get to play viral spawning because we will have the mana to sneak in another. We did it, but that's what interesting. We actually answered 2 Witch Kings. So let's see if our point. Also of note is that when we sacrifice, the thing with Witch King of Angmar is that if we deal with multiple creatures, we still only have to sacrifice with 1. So when it goes Faramir. Let's see if they have the slip on the ring. Well, yep, they did, but let's get that out of the way. And they don't get the benefit of this because Faramir should not be the one becoming. So definitely want to swing with these 2. Opponent will most likely block the. Now we do see a weakness, like the cut downs are not exactly going to cut anything down deep anywhere. But we are going to swing with both. Like, let's see, it's just some corrupted one. Let's see, your opponent did not read. Opponent can sacrifice this in response, but might as well just trade it. Ooh, nice ambush. Okay. So, eating the food token doesn't matter. And we still got in for 1 more poison, which is fine. Let's play Skull Dweller. And so we're holding up Cut Down and we're holding up Mirrex. Opponent might claim the Precious on that. Yeah, sure. Opponent might start hitting us. This would be like 6 damage a hit. I'd say go. Yeah, if they want to, they can go for it. Definitely will be swinging with both of these. I could also say swing with the Haywire Might also because we are kind of close in regular damage as well. I don't think our opponent is going to just willingly take 2 extra poison. Even though I did play 3 Vraska's Fall, I do have a 4th. Opponent doesn't know if I do or don't. Opponent has to decide if they want to sack the food. It actually is kind of relevant at this point. Yeah, we did draw our 4th one. Vraska fell really hard. Yeah, might as well. That's a good game. Yep. And next turn our opponent probably does not. Well, they did have Black Breath, so that's. But we probably will just make the token end of turn. So There we go. That was actually very fast. We did not. It was not a perfect run. We did lose to a goblin deck, but that is kind of expected there. But yeah, turns out toxic insects. Even we got to play with the roaches. We got to play with the bloated contaminators. Did not quite get to play with Natuko, but we did have. But we kind of have a plan of getting cards from our opponent's graveyard, as getting copies at least. Yeah, I would say that's a pretty good steal. That's gonna be it for this episode of Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications and whatnot. And yeah, for people wondering, it's still the same 8 cards. The layout has just kind of changed. Though it is a very good way of highlighting the rare and the special slot. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time. Take care. God bless. Stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.